Well, first and foremost, I want to welcome everybody who is here. Thank you so much for accepting to sit with me and on this panel and digest a few things about bebe. I want to also welcome the media personalities in this place, and of course my partners, media partners, and the rest of the media, and the Ugandans, wherever you are. I hope everybody is okay. So basically, to me, I think my life has been an open book in Uganda. I remember when I was young, I had a dream. I'm born from a family that father lived alone and my mother lived alone. Of course, with the history of people knowing that my father was a politician and my mother was a tailor on the street. So those two financial budgets are totally different, but I grew up with my mother. So as I grew up on this other lower side of finances, I saw the good and what I wanted. Everything I admired was on the other side. So I had a lot of pain as an individual because I say, why not live like my siblings and everybody? So it began like that. So the pain that I had inspired me, motivated me to work towards crossing the line between me and the other side of my family. Now, as I grew up also, I am lucky to be coming from Uganda. I'm proud to be Ugandan because, as you know, Ugandans are very resilient people. They're hustlers, they don't stop. So we have that resilience that must be understood in one way or another. We should inspire people or motivate people to understand what motivation means and what motivation can do for you as an individual, as a country, as Africans, as Ugandans, as East Africans. We must allow or push for people to understand the importance of motivation. You have to have something to motivate you in life so that you can move from where you are to move to the next step. So I come up with this idea. Lucky enough, I had always wanted to sing a song called Motivation. But at this point of my life, it's important that I drop statements, I do certain things that can impact massively onto the people of Uganda. So I dropped the statement to one of my writers, joined me, and we thought about so many things during that time. And one of those most important things is coming up with a motivation week. A week that comes once every year. And then we also have affirmed that we will have that motivation week every after Valentine's Day, where people have to move around and ask. You can ask your family, you can ask your sisters, your brothers, you can ask anyone on the street what motivates you. So that is the week that we're heading on.
So every year we will, just the way you have the bebe list, yes. Every after Valentine's Day will be motivation week.
Yes, where everyone can ask anyone for their own good, what motivates you? You can have that conversation. Media personalities would be the best to lead this conversation because in that question you can help people find what motivates them.
So oli waba blogger nga yo omulimu gwe gwa kusabula mu motivation week emundu aziwumuza.
Exactly.
Flora, obulidde. Okay, I'll go to Brian Wako. Brian Wako, kibuuzo ki ky'olina?
Okay, about Moses Sally, I want you to motivate people out there as an individual. How have you managed to be relevant in this music industry for this long, topping charts for all the time you've been in the music industry over time?
Having a plan was always one, it was my first most important thing. When you have a plan, it's easy and you make sure that you stick to it. Okay? So I always had a plan to be one of the best artists in the world. I always had a plan to be successful. Now, the next question is, what do you need to be successful? So as long as your plan is to be successful, then that means that everything you have to do has to equate to success. Meaning, I'll give you a good example. If you want to be successful in life, you can't do drugs. So I put drugs aside. If you want to be successful in life, you have to have a wife or a husband. Get married. When you get married, respect your wife. Have children. Take care of them. Look after them. Educate them. If you want to be successful in life, you have to have friends. Good friends. For you to have good friends, you have to be a good person. You have to sacrifice. You have to care so that people can put an eye. So that all became my point. So as long as you have that plan. So how does Bebe Cool motivate people? The question is, you can see from the pain, from my story, given the bullets, given the bombs, given the hate that had been created on me, which is no longer there, given the misconception that was created, but I persevered through that pain. So pain is what really motivates me. So whoever is watching can use their pain to get out of that bad situation.
Thank you so much. Mr. Henry, yes.
Thank you so much. I think after 25 years in the game, it's only fitting that Rasta really motivates us. But my major interest now, or you did a kuimba, when it comes to motivation, you said you got the word, you got a writer, and I did a song. So, are we having the song today? What can you tell us about the song, producer, and everything? We are really looking forward to hearing the song.
Let me say that it's a two-in-one. I'm very lucky that, again, because I had the idea, it happened to come in at the right time. So here comes the creation of the Motivation Week, and here comes the reality that we have written a song called Motivation. So, and that's what I wanted to really look at and inspire people with the sound, because there's continuity that we need. Yes, we have a beautiful song called Motivation on the Break the Chains album, and now we are going into that week of motivation where all partners, friends, people, family can now focus and find out if they have some fire burning inside them, because the motivation thing is fire within you, what pushes you. So yes, there's a song.
So yes, there is a song.
Douglas Katononyo,
yes.
Naffe abali mutwaba kusanyuka TV. Bade sawa panelists banange. Bwe twogera tumixinge muko.
Webale nnyo.
Nderi yansekerera naye. Sound mixing muke banafa batwaba kusanyuka.
Okay.
Sanyuka streaming live.
Okay, maybe can sabe Bebe Cool Mr. Richard Ozizawo kidemuko ne mu Luganda.
Mukisa bwatukute bulungi nti wetwafuna idea ya Motivation Week, ate era ne tusalawo n'okuwandika oluyimba lwa motivation. So motivation kyeki mu Luganda onaali kinyonyodde nga omuliro ogukusindika okukola ekintu kyonna okuva mu mbeera embi gy'olimu okudda mu mbeera ennungi. So tulaba nti Uganda nsi yaffe ennungi, abantu be Uganda balina zero, balina ekintu ekyo munda, ffe tuli balemezi kuba hasla. So naye kyagala omuntu n'abeera nga asobola okubeera motivated mu direction entuufu. So mu ngeri eyo kwe kulowooza nti tuteekewo Bebe Cool n'entandika kye bayita Motivation Week. Motivation Week eno ye wiiki gye weebuuza ng'omuntu kiki ekikusindika munda. Osanga oluusi olw'okuba tolina kikusindika y'ensonga lwaki okyali bw'oli oba bubi nga bw'oli. Naye ate bw'obeera n'ekikusindika, abantu abasinga balowooza nti embeera embi actually embi. Embeera embi eyinza obutaba mbi lwa nsonga nti embeera embi yekusindiikiriza okukola ennyo, okumotivating okukola ennyo osobole okufuuka omuntu ali better. So n'olwekyo ne kitusanga nga n'oluyimba tuluwandiise, so ne tukuba ebinyonyi bibiri n'ejjinja limu mu weekend.
Okay, tulina date of release?
Tulina date of release era tugenda kugamba nti ng'ennaku z'omwezi 21 ye Friday eno oluyimba lujja kubeera n'olufuluma oluyitibwa Motivation.
Thank you so much. I'll pass the mic over to Prim.
First of all, I want to say thank you to you, Bebe. I didn't get the chance because you hadn't walked in here. I don't know where you got the motivation to do this, but this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, my question is, there are so many people, millions of people that are inspired by Bebe. For some people, it's your music. For some people, it's because, he's a family man. We love how, loudly he loves his woman, Zuena. But then, that's on the other side. Now we have a Bebe on this side that inspires and motivates people. Who inspires Bebe that is inspiring and motivating many other people?
I would say, if you ask me, inspire, I'll turn it into who inspires? No, what motivates me? Because the inspiration, I would derive it from my motivation. What motivates me to motivate others? The inspiring, yes, we have always inspired. I can look good, and then I can have a beautiful wife, and you really see that things are moving well for me, and that's the road you want to move. But in general, pain motivates me. Without pain, I cannot move from one place to another. If you notice one thing, I'm going to give you. Remember the hardships. Sit down and write down all the hardships you've ever heard about Bebe. In reality, if I didn't have those hardships, I would not be motivated to work hard to beat them. Now, on the inspiration, yes, I can say who inspires me. Several people inspire me. Several situations inspire me. Successful people inspire me. I make them my friends. I've got friends. I'll give you an example. The president of the country, President Museveni, his brain inspires me so much. So much. Dr. Sudiru Valeria, major inspiration.
List your friends, Majorida.
Sabodon Wavamono, immense inspiration and motivation. I've got the likes of the latest that shocked me, but I was very lucky and happy that he also fell into the basket of my friend. But that one now is a friend of so many of us, I think. That's Ham Chigundu. That's the youngest billionaire that we have in Africa. The question was, I asked him in person, how did you achieve this at half my age? I mean, I'm nearly twice older than you, and you're so successful. So those are the things that I look at. I look at the age, the success, the rates, and then I use those to raise my bar. So as much as I can inspire or motivate people, I also have those who have inspired and motivated.
On your list, considering that you are an artist, a musician, I would expect that there would be maybe a name of a musician that motivates Bebe. But it's, the president, it's Gordon Wavamono, it is Ham, one of the youngest billionaires that we have. Don't we have any artists motivating Bebe, either because of how they push their brand or who they are as a person?
It's unfortunate that art was a vehicle. Music was a vehicle to take me to my goal. The goal was success. But what vehicle in my plan did I use to get there? Now, as simple as this, I wanted to be a musician successfully. Meaning if you're a successful musician, you can use that platform to make a good social capital.
Yes.
So when you make a good social capital, I mean friends who matter, who are valuable, who can add something onto you. So that's why in specific it wasn't an individual or specifically an artist to inspire me to my success. No. Remember also artists have different stories and they are also inspired by their own lives. So it's difficult for him as an artist because he became big. It must have been the fire behind him. So I also have to discover my own fire, but then make a plan to reach my goal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have plans of motivating the president to return to music? Another rap?
I know, I thought that answer was going to two presidents. But now you mentioned the song. Now you mentioned the song. Indeed, I mean, you see, music has now been simplified by this era of young people. Even when you talk, a very productive producer can use the words as you talk and make a song. So I'm very sure the old man will return to music.
Thank you, Rasta.
Thank you so much, Prim. I'll pass the mic over to Christo Panda. Christo, what's your question to Bebe Cool?
My question is about his evolution, and I've seen him as a big artist for over 25 years. I've been following his game ever since I started enjoying music. He has been on for 25 years. So him starting up Gargamel, just like Gargamel in Jamaica, is evolving from reggae, dancehall, Afrobeats. What's the motivation behind that?
Life cannot be stagnant. You can't live in one place because then it stays boring and not productive. So even when I chose to sing, I knew that that fashion of music can change. But the most important thing is to learn how to adopt. So you can see that the moment I started singing, those days it was about Lingala. When I went to Nairobi, it became dancehall, but in Uganda it was still Lingala. When I came back to Uganda, we pushed Lingala out and we brought in dancehall. And then after that dancehall, we brought in Chidandali. So I have been evolving into what the product, the consumer wants at that time. And you can see that right now, that's the same intention. You can see that now it's Afrobeat worldwide. So I'm trying to adopt. It's evolution. And the best way to win and survive in a country or in life, you must learn how to evolve. Because the weather moves. If it's hot, take off your shirt. If it's cold, put on a jacket. If you need to run, if people are running, run. If people are seated, sit. For you to get paid, if the answer is payment.
So, before I give the mic over, you're in Afrobeats right now. As a young artist who's just beginning, Otugambe Tukuba Chidandali, and that has been the best line of Uganda music. Now you're into Afrobeats. Muyimbi mwe yobubaka how I can do better. Buzibu chobuli makati yao kuchusa nobuka not deal. Because sindaba kulia gokola album ya mapiano. And amapiano is trending worldwide. And you say you have to jump on the train when it's moving. Should we also expect an album on piano?
Definitely. And if you look at the album, if you get a chance to listen to the album very soon, it will be on. There's a piano on the album. As we begin, you must expect the unexpected on the Break the Chains album. But the word to the young guys, we have been there. You have to trust the successful people. You have to. You are lucky that you don't have to dig your own road. For us, we had to dig the road so that we can walk it. But now, all the artists in Uganda are walking a road that has been dug. Okay? So, it's up to you to see who has reached far. And then I will walk their footsteps. Because now I can be walking By now, I expect young artists who are able, who understand, who stream world music, who are informed, who are aware of the technology, to be knowing that now it is Afrobeat and Amapiano that are selling. And now, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell to a smaller crowd, or you want to sell to a bigger crowd? So it is going to be clear that everyone should now aspire to sell to a bigger crowd. Nothing comes easy. Today you may not work, tomorrow it may not work, but I can guarantee you that after 15 years it will work. The question is, does Bebe Cool still have 15 years? No, the 15 years is for a starter. For me, the test is 2 years. Third year, it will work. Break the chain.
Obuzibu bwa kikono, bwe bakyakuba ekikono naawe. Obuzibu bwa kikono, onabyogeraga gy'obiriizi nkanfu, obyogereko ebiriizi, naye obuzibu kikono. Omuntu yeewaze etya ekikono mu industry, naawe wooli bakyakubamu ekikono wooli. Bwe bakikuba, waliyo abakikuba naye bw'ogamba nti bano mbayita eno bwenti, omwana mubuusa ali ku bbala.
Kati emboozi, njagala tugifuule ennamba nze naawe ku show yo. Era njagala ogiyite
ekikono edition.
Njagala njikuwe mu detail, nkuwe ne examples, because I'm going to be able to ngenda kukolayo media tour. Era eri ba partners baffe bakwano bange bonna aba media bali mwenna gye muli. Saabatadde bali nti saabayise oba ki, naye ngenda kukola media tour person ku person, station to station, tuukirize okulaba nti nno tugatta obubaka bwa Break the Chain album, naddala ennyimba nga zino eziriko nga zina omulamwa lwaki tuba tuziyimbye.
Thank you so much. Lastly, let's pass the mic to Flora.
Omanyi badde mwenna mwogera ku music. I want us to talk about relationships. Mami Zuu yabadde eno ku Twitter n'apostinga nti, besides money, what's that one thing that would motivate you to fall for a man? I want to ask Bebe Cool. Besides beauty, what motivates you to fall for a woman?
Obviously, brains, patience. I think, to me, those are the most important. If you have a brain, I will definitely see how you use it. And if how you use it does help me think twice about what I'm doing, because that's how I made a choice of the same lady. Yeah.
Kati nga tonaba kwogera nange ng'olabye bulabi, because you don't know what I'm thinking. Because the head is inside, obwongo bwange tomanyi kyobulowooza. Physical appearance.
The physical appearance tells much lot about a person. That's why you see when I go out there and work out, okay? When you walk around and see how Bebe Cool looks like, most of the time I hear people say, hey, yeah. So before I even say anything, you'll be able to say, so that's the first step. Then you say the first word, hi. You'd see the demeanor. Then the first conversation, I don't need 10 minutes to know that this lady has common sense or has a good brain. I need only 2 minutes.
Yes. When you started working out, so when I didn't get motivating, I'm not going to ample. Alpha, I'm posting a yo, sweet and the cheap. And when you have a I think it's Japan and to go to the gym or and work.
Of course, beauty is a key motivator. Most especially Katifenga bali mfumbo. As we are married, okay? There is no way I would not look at my wife looking nice and I don't get inspired to look nice. Otherwise, the simple thing is, she looks very beautiful, she gets up, she looks at herself in the mirror, and you with your very big stomach, you're still laying down. So when she walks to the bathroom, it is your turn to get up, stand up, walk, look at yourself in the mirror, and sincerely speaking, see if she's telling you the truth. Most women keep telling their men, honey, it's okay. But in reality, she doesn't like it. So for me, her beauty motivates me to become a better looking individual every day. Because as we grow, the most important thing is to keep our family together, and it all starts in the bedroom. Yes, it's so that I actually would want we should have a show that can be extensive. Because my album, Break the Chain, has so many components. So that's one of the components. So I should also have that conversation with you based on the same questions, and we elaborate much more.
Peace and love.
Okay, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Mr. Henry, just this last round of questions, and then we'll interject, and then Bebe Cool will be saving the 3 minutes that I promised the live audience, and then we'll be closing.
I think everyone has literally asked everything. You've asked about family, you've asked about music, we talked about the evolution, we talked about motivation. Never about discussion, but it's about today how often this is going to happen and how we are going to be embarking on this journey of Motivation Week, the expectations and everything with this new initiative that we see.
The most it was a dream, but I also felt that I could make it happen, to embark on motivating people or helping people to find the reason to be motivated. So I have come up with an idea of having a motivation week every year, and that week will always come immediately after Valentine's Day. So this is a week where you ask people what motivates you. Imagine you, ladies and gentlemen who work on media, that is the most constructive week that you can use to help people come up or find themselves. Because you see, most people will think that pain is meant for crying. No. So that's basically it. Sanyoka TV.
Thank you.
And tujanga kubeera ne motivation week ejanga kujja buli ejaba kuba week eyo oluvannyuma lwa Valentine's Day buli mwaka. So nga bwe tubadde nga ne list era tujanga kukola promo okutambula all over nga tubuuza abantu ebiba motivatinga oba okubayamba okufuna ekintu ekinamotivatinga ave mu mbeera gyalimu.
Uncle Bebe, Brido gaba show pada flora. But there's
yes.
Because we're talking about motivation and fitness and health.
Yes.
It's a request. If you and I can have hours in the gym.
What's your question here anymore?
We can go weight for weight.
100% yes.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to say, when do we begin? Okay, this is my working out schedule.
Okay.
I work out 5 days a week.
Ooh.
Minimum
That's
4. I work out in the morning, 9 to 11. If I miss my workout in the morning, I have to compensate it at 5 or 6 in the evening.
Okay.
What's your workout schedule?
I do 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, I rest Wednesday, I do Thursday and Friday.
So
11 to 1.
Okay. I can fit into 11 to 1. Where do you work out from?
Gym and Joget.
Yes, guys. Now that one is a dandy.
What's your favorite parts of your body to work on? Because usually men are into upper body.
When I was young, it was the upper body. But now it's the lower body. Lower body is so important because that's where all the energy that applies from the upper body comes from. So of course you can see that I'm now losing on my upper body weight, but I'm gaining a lot of energy in my lower body for purposes of maintaining, being able to carry my weight, being able to be fit.
Yes.
You need, even before you walk to gym, you need the legs. Yeah. So the lower body is so important.
And you see, most people don't understand how important working out is, especially for your mental health.
Exactly.
So perhaps maybe when they hear it from a man like you, they will listen.
I must tell the country that the only way I would have survived the hardships that I've been through in my life, in my music, it has been because I work out. If I wasn't working out, the amount of stress I would have contained or I would have had me dead. Every time I work out and I sweat, I go take my shower, I am extremely fresh, my brain works 10 times faster, I solve more questions after workout, and when I get fatigued, I can't do anything. So that's the difference. So people who don't work out are fatigued.
Yes.
While those who work out, the brain is, actually the science is very simple. The faster the brain, this is what I say. When you work out, blood moves faster. So there's more oxygen going through the brain. So the brain is getting much more oxygen in a short period of time. The more oxygen the brain gets, the more activity, or however much you stress it, it will be able to resolve all your issues. Maybe Muruganda, it's a very important question. Workout ekuyamba etya okujja ko stress. Kiri practical. Bw'owakira out, omusaayi gweyongera okudduka mangu. Buli lwe gudduka amangu, gutambuza oxygen nayingira brain. Buli omusaayi guyingira gulina oxygen, ogufuluma gumuleseemu. Kitegeeza the more oxygen gy'ocompilinga mu bwongo, the more obwongo gye bufuna ekyokulya kyabwe kye bayita oxygen, ate ne bukola more better.
Ate ndowooza ekintu ekirala abantu kye batategeera, people that don't work out. The industry that we are in, drugs is a very big problem. But then people don't understand that the feel good they get from drugs is, you can get better feel good from lifting weights, but this is a better feel good.
Actually, you can get a better feel good from looking good. Because when you work out, you look good.
Yeah.
So when you look good,
Speaking about gym, what kind of food do you eat, bebe?
At my age, of course, I cut down on eating everything. I don't eat red meat, but that's the purpose of gout. But I do have one meal a day. I have it at 4 o'clock, between 3 and 5. I have only 8 windows of snacking, 8-hour window of snacking. I do intermittent fasting 4 times a week, 16 hours. So if I eat my meal at 4, I will have my breakfast at 8 in the morning. Between then, nothing goes in the tummy. But that is now, because the body has started to wear out. But as you're young, you can be allowed and allow yourself to do things so that your body can be able to exercise its right to destroy those things. So I really appreciate the fact that Douglas have these people here. But I also want to ask them some questions. Sure. I don't know what the same one is.
But then some got to nagenda to finances one okatono. Gwenga omukwaba abantu abali motivating eribanaffa abalala ate nga nawo naba motivating badde twadisa buluzungu naye nogezako kiza kulugana eribanaffa abali kusanyuka TV ndiki financial literacy as a way of maintaining financial stability in your respective fields. What is your take on it?
Pardon?
Your take on financial literacy as a way of maintaining financial stability in your respective fields.
Mu Luganda, njagala ekibuuzo ekyo kibuuze ne mu Luganda kubanga bannaffe bali abasanyuka TV.
Benakuddamu nsekerere.
Sijja kuba ekibuuzo kiri very important.
Njagala tutunuulire ku ngeri gy'olabamu ebintu ku magezi g'ofunye mu byenfuna oba ebyensimbi mu ngeri gy'okuumyemu ebyenfuna by'okuba nga biri stable oba nga biri wamu mu fields mu mitendero n'emirimu egy'enjawulo gy'okola as an investor ng'omuyimbi n'ebirala bifaanana bityo.
Financial literacy kitwalize nga wanagamba ebyokusoma ku by'essente ku byenfuna. Okay? Nti okusoma ku byenfuna kiyamba ky'omuntu kikyalibadde bwe nakitegedde ekibuuzo. Of course okusoma ku byenfuna kiyamba omuntu kubanga omuntu atamanyi atalina idea ku byanfuna tasobola kufuna kyekisookera ddala. Ate ekyokubiri omuntu atalina idea ku byanfuna tasobola kusevinga. Ekyokusatu omuntu atalina idea atategeera byanfuna akola ensobi okulowooza nti okuspendinga oba okufulumya nsobi. Kati waliwo ebyenfuna n'omanya nti waliwo okufulumya n'okuyingiza. So kintu kikulu nnyo omuntu yenna gy'ali okufuba okulaba nti afuna okuyigirizibwa ku byenfuna. So financial literacy is definitely a very important aspect in everyone's life. Of course, I didn't go to school to study it. I used common sense and experience to understand, but I also used my social capital. I know there are several people I used to disturb so much. Aga Sekalala of Radio Simba is the first person who suffered the bebe disease of financial literacy because he couldn't understand. Then the second person who has suffered that effect is my wife, who is keeping on asking, Moses, you're overspending every day. Singa usaving atwalibadde tukola kino singa naye ate nga nze ndaba spending yange esobola okukola ki okuleeta. But you need to have some literacy. You need to be doing things intentionally naye nga okikoze nga business tibwenfulumya nja kufuna naye ekibuuzo ekiriwo onaafuna ddi. Kati awo wali question.
Neyanza bebe.
Okay. Wabadde olina ebibuuzo by'abana abantu weetegekedde?
Bano abantu nange nagambye bulijjo mutubuuza ebibuuzo. Ne mutubuuza ebibuuzo wallahi nange njagala mbabuuzeeyoko ku bibuuzo bino. Ndowooza era ngenda kutandika n'abakyala. Omanyi nze ky'abakyala bakwata mpola. Okay, right next to me here. As a media personality, what have you done to motivate your audience? And please give specifics. Like, never mpayo specifics bili. Kiki kyokola ekiyinza okuviiramu abantu abakuwuliriza okubeera motivated?
Njakuwa example nakyogeddeko nga tonatuuka wano. Show yange kumakya etandika ssaawa 12 naye alamu yange kumakya evuga ssaawa 9:30. Bw'obuuza abantu wano bameka bazuuka ku ssaawa kiyinza okuba ekizigenda okufunayo. So I believe every morning when I wake up and go on radio and motivate people to wake up and go hustle. Kampala is not easy, katoyiri bakoyi. Ekyo buli omakimanyi.
Actually, akona kojja kateeka ku mbuzi yaffe nga kubanga scientifically omuntu yenna akeera ennyo takaddibwa. Atassa empewo etannabeera polluted n'environment bannungi.
Olimu omuntu obeera ng'oyita mu bingi and all you need is just someone's voice to tell you mani zuukuka. Remember why you started, what you have to achieve, the goals that you have, and get going.
Beautiful. My lady over there, Poko. Huh? I have a simple question, but it may be a bit difficult. I want to know from you, what's the motivation behind fake news? Have you ever been a victim of fake news? And how do you feel about fake news?
Sinjukira kola story nga fake. Unless if you guys know any story that
it has nothing to do with you as a person.
Okay. So, but the motivation behind fake news is just to get likes. You know, ofuna likes abantu bakwogera bagambe ha oyo mwana story ya Jesse. For example, I can give you a recent story of Jose Chameleone and staff bamusibye and bichi. Abantu abasinga bakola fake news baba baagala babala bintu bebalese story eyo. Obontegedde nti story nti brand wako yagirese nti brand wako yalina eyo information.
Fewa we are against fake news. We dismiss.
Anyway. Just to entertaining abantu naye ng'olusobo oyagala abantu bakulabe nti gwe source wa information yoyo kubadde gwe nga tofuzeeyo bamufu oba mutuufu wekikulu kiri nti gwe kujja n'oyogera nti bebe cool bamusanze wano ne wano.
Kati gwe kikuyisa kitya muli buli lw'omanya nti gwe otaddeyo fake news?
Tekimpisa bulungi, but at the end of the day olugambo mmere ya mwoyo. So kati oluusi abantu bye baba baagala okuwulira tekikuyisa bulungi kuba nange baali bansibyeko ku bantu ne ŋŋamba yiiyo noono kale mwandimpadde ono naye lwaki mumpadde ono. Tekikuyisa bulungi gwe ng'omuntu, but then entertainment aba inetambula.
Brian, wako ekibuuzo ekyo ngenda kireeta neewo. Kiki kyolowooza ku kigambo kye bayita fake news?
Rasta, nze nongo omuntu ndi against it. Luckily enough nkola ku next week. Aba champions dismissing fake news mu era gye tugenda muna